This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
That's number one. You kind of reset me.
Painful, tender to the touch. May also
Same shoulder length, and the other. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Brandy and Amir. I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor. Brandy Rashidian is my other half and the one with all the good jokes today. And we are the
Sorry,
Real
you
Health.
put me on the spot there.
That's right. You're going to have to come up with one. If not, I'll help you out. Real Health Podcast is brought to you by the Frederick Podcast Network. It is found on listenfrederick.com, plus Spotify and YouTube and iTunes and iHeartRadio and everywhere else.
All those
And
places.
Real Health is where we talk about all the latest information on news. I forgot to start my timer here. News and social media and wherever else there's information or disinformation or fake news or whatever that's coming out. We're going to take all the headlines. We're going to look at the science behind it. We're going to break it down for you and give you our perspective, which is non-surgical, non-drug, wellness, natural-based solutions to everything that we can recommend. Although, I don't think you should take it as, take it as advice, take it as opinion, take it as
a jumping spot to do research.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
That's one thing that's missing is being able to obtain all the informations from all sides, not just one side that wants to kind of pigeonhole you into one thing. So
Absolutely. So, but ultimately our goal is this: is we want to help you get feel better, get stronger, live longer, and feel younger.
yeah.
So, having said that, how you feeling? Young?
Sure. I'm going to feel younger in a few hours because I'm going to get my wisdom hairs covered. When people start asking me advice a lot, I'm like, whoo, I need to go see my hair girl and make sure we hide how old I really am.
So you're going to be there the rest of the day then?
No, from like 3 to 5. Should be fine. What's that? Wisdom hair are the hairs that turn gray. That
It's the roots.
let everyone know how young I really am. It's just gray hair, Sean.
The roots.
But as a lady, I like to call them wisdom hairs because it doesn't make me sound as old.
Oh, I like my wisdom hairs.
Yeah, but men are supposed to. For
yeah.
men, it makes you look distinguished.
We look good with
On
that.
women,
Yeah.
it just makes us look older.
They call us salt and pepper.
Yeah. Yeah, salt and pepper. It's all distinguished. Yeah. That's not what
Not
they
pink
say
salt.
about us.
It's not pink salt.
No.
It's not blue salt.
Oh, we love blue salt.
Does our audience know that there's such thing as a blue salt?
No.
Because the Himalayan pink salt is healthy.
Yes. It's
Healthier
good for you.
than table salt. But then there's this
Mostly
blue
because it's
salt.
not bleached.
Right. But there's blue salt that comes from Iran. And I'm Iranian, so my mother came back from Iran
That's
last
something
week.
else that comes from Iran.
She does definitely come from it. It's just like me. And blue salt. We all have that in common.
That's funny.
Who knew?
Oh, there's my
So,
joke.
That doesn't count. No one laughed.
Sean,
Nope.
can we get a laugh track?
He's not laughing. And so blue salt apparently also has a good spectrum of minerals.
Mm.
Some experts say it's not as healthy for you as Himalayan pink salt, but it's still healthier than table salt. So
We'd have to see who said that. Maybe they stand to benefit from the selling of Himalayan pink salt.
yeah, who knows? But for some reason, our kids love the blue salt.
Yeah.
They were like, "When's Grandma coming to bring some blue salt?" I'm like, "What kids get excited about salt?"
Kids who love to eat a handful of it every day.
Oh my god! And then our oldest made bread yesterday.
He did. I was so proud of him.
And then today he made grilled cheese with his own bread.
Mm-hmm.
That boy can survive in the wilderness. See him make his own bread. And
Yeah, we're trying not to buy as much bread out of the supermarket because sometimes as we're diving through information, as you guys are, I learn things and then I freak out and then I'm like, no more, we can't eat any more of this.
Yeah.
So like when we really started investigating parasites, I just freaked out. And so, and everyone loved hearing about your parasites and all the little wiggly things.
Who's everyone? Did you see the video I sent you?
All of them.
Uh-huh. Thanks. Did you see the video I sent you with the parasites? where I sent you a video. I texted it to you a few days ago about how to kill parasites with clove water.
Yeah. Yes, I think I did
And
see
under the
that.
microscope, you see all these
Yes,
wiggly things, and
I
they
did
all
watch
like
that.
stop moving after a little while.
Clove oil.
It said clove water.
Hmm.
You clearly didn't pay attention.
Well, I automatically heard clove oil because, oh no, I'm thinking of oregano oil. Sorry. So no, I did not catch clove water, but I did watch it.
Okay.
But see, that's why you need help with people like us to reread things and then tell you what you missed. Because clearly I missed something.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys probably see some of our shorts, and some people will take them out of context and say we're quacks and everything else. So, what was that video, Sean, where they called me a quack? Oh yeah, so there was. Do you remember when we were talking about how like we're getting older, so we need readers?
Yes.
And so we got these progressive lenses.
Yes.
And I was talking about how if you look straight ahead, it doesn't work, even though they're not glasses.
Right.
You still have to look down, which is what my eye doctor said. So, anyways, I'm following that. So, anyways, one of our fans or people who watch our videos,
I think it's a bot,
commented underneath saying figures that quack wouldn't know what a progressive lens is. And I go, okay, well, and I certainly didn't study it in school. Chiropractic school didn't really teach us about progressive lenses. So, and I think I was trying to be a little funny in that short. But anyway, so I thought what we should do, Sean, can you do this? I think we should reply to that comment.
Ooh,
I think you should put a bunch of ducks, just pictures of ducks.
That's good.
Quacking ducks.
Yeah.
Because listen, guys, you can call me a quack any day. I don't care. I think it's a compliment.
Well, here's
what does that
my
mean?
thing.
They're basically saying I go against the grain.
Yes.
I don't conform to the general conceptions or misconceptions of what health is about, how they think health comes from the outside in, not from the inside out. They think it's what you stick into your body, it's what you rip out of your body that makes you healthy. It's the chemicals and synthetics that are made in the laboratory that are designed to shackle you to bottles of pills that you have to drag around with you every time you go on vacation.
Right.
That's health. That's not my definition of health. So you call me a quack, go ahead. I'm proud of it. I am a quack, and I am darn proud of it.
Yeah, we don't want to be the other side.
Not at all. Not at all. Listen, no disrespect to those of you who believe that. I literally had a patient, and I said, she was on a list of drugs, and I said, so is it one of your goals to eventually get healthier so that with the help of your medical doctor, you can slowly come off of some of these drugs? And she said, no, I believe in drugs and surgery.
Okay.
What do you do?
I mean, you can't argue with that. If somebody believes in something and they think that that's their paradigm.
Yeah. Do you know that belief is a choice?
Yeah, I do believe that.
We choose
I choose to believe that.
To believe in the things we believe in. The belief is a choice. You choose to put, that's what it's called, faith, right? You put your faith in it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I have a topic I brought for our podcast today, and then Brandy June, which means brandy deer in Farsi, brought a topic that's.
It actually means my love, my life, but
yeah, it's a little more.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah, like if you guys watched Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi called Daniel's son. Mm-hmm. Same thing.
Yeah.
Brandy June is the Farsi version of Daniel's son.
Or brandy deer, or honey, or.
Yeah. So you have a topic that you brought.
I do.
Where do you want to start with?
We can start with yours.
Okay.
Get the boring one out of the way.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Listen.
Sean likes the healthy competition we throw.
That's right. So here's my quack perspective on this. This was on Good Morning America. There's a woman, her name is Meredith Shore, Schorr. She's a registered nurse working in the medical field during the coronavirus pandemic, took both a mental and a physical toll on her. So the title of the article, this was on NBC News, reported on Good Morning America, and the title is "Woman Shares What Happened After She Stopped Taking Semaglutide." As most people know already, and if you don't know, you've been living under a rock, semaglutide is a classification, it's a class of peptides that are drugs for weight loss and type 2 diabetes. Originally, it was just for type 2 diabetes. Then it got approved for weight loss, and some of the common names. If they're in the article, we'll mention them. If they're not, we're not going to mention the names. But she said, I wasn't thinking about how to integrate vegetables and fruit into my diet, but rather, how am I going to save this person's life? Shore, 25 years old, told Good Morning America. After gaining around 50 pounds, Shore said she tried making changes to her diet and her exercise routine to lose weight. When that didn't work, interestingly, Shore said she reached out for professional help and saw a nurse practitioner who helps patients with weight loss. Shore said the nurse practitioner recommended she try semaglutide, the active ingredient in medications such as Ozempic and Wegovy. Semaglutide is a medication that was initially approved for type 2 diabetes, but is now allowed to be prescribed for weight loss. She said, my nurse practitioner made it clear to me that this drug shouldn't just be a crutch that you rely on to lose weight. You should still improve your health and lifestyle habits, such as improving exercise and your nutrition at the same time as using this drug. Now, she said eating a lot of vegetables didn't work. Well, I don't know if eating vegetables made you thin, then cows, rhinos, and elephants would be thin too.
Right. It's
That's my joke for today.
That was a good one. The reality is, if we go into it thinking that it's a single faceted approach, or if we go in thinking that a single faceted approach is going to be successful, we will fail in the end every time.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that you can't get some result.
Yep.
If someone carved out all sugar and all carbs, like simple carbs, out of their diet, they will end up getting a result, right? You can't remove sugar from your diet and not see weight come off. It's impossible.
Not possible. It's just nature. It cannot happen.
Right. So that's one thing, but will you lose as much as you'd like? Are you going to gain muscle? Are you going to lose muscle? Like, you can do just that, but you're not going to end up with the result that you want. You may see something different on the scale, but then you really need to add in like a weight training, right? Because if you're doing that, but you're not lifting anything, then the odds are you're going to be losing muscle alongside the fat,
right?
Which is not what you want. You know, especially as we age, like that stuff becomes so much more vital to our longevity, to just us living well, for us, being able to stay healthy, our immune system, all of that makes a huge difference. So, I mean, that's probably one of it. I mean, here's the reality is we know there are many, many, many doctors out there that are prescribing these things and they don't really get it. They don't know how to teach wellness. They don't know how to teach somebody weight loss, because there are people who study how to help people lose weight for years. That's like their specialty. And I'm not even just talking about a weight loss doctor, right? I'm talking about somebody who understands not just the physiology, but understands, exercise, understands true nutrition, not just pharmacology. That is not the vast majority of your doctors. Like, we have a couple of great groups here in Frederick. We have, what's the Men's Health?
Game Day.
And they focus mostly on men, but they help, let's make sure your hormones are balanced. Let's make sure that we have the foundation that we need to help you hit your wellness goals, right? Like, there's an approach to that, but it's not just about losing weight. And then there's another group as well who's doing the same thing. And while they do prescribe certain peptides, it's not just that they're doing, right? They have an approach where, yes, let's balance hormones. If there is a peptide that you need, and there's another peptide actually getting ready to hit the market, which is much, much, much safer than the semaglutide that a lot of people are using right now. So this newer peptide doesn't have some of the negative effects that the semaglutide has.
If you want to look it up, it's called GLP-3, and I don't know if I would say it has less side effects
Does.
because I think it's anecdotal right now in the stage
That could be, yeah.
this it has had fewer side effects in the handful of people we know who are using
Correct.
it. So but we haven't. Have you officially seen any research or official data on?
I personally haven't. This is just
outcomes?
talking with the two
Right.
doctors.
Yeah, so this is what the doctors have said, and this is what we know. A few people who are taking it, the GLP-3, and they're saying they're not having any side effects, and they seem to be losing weight.
They're also microdosing.
Okay.
So very small doses of it, which there are some other doctors that microdose with the semaglutide, and they get vastly different results than they're using it even for certain autoimmune, like psoriatic arthritis. They're using semaglutide to actually microdose to get a benefit from it.
Right.
So they're doing some.
I just want to make sure you know
too.
that this is all early stages,
Yes.
and if you do have access to it, we're not officially endorsing this. We're just
but we're saying there's
on
other things that could be coming out.
What we have heard. Ideally, you don't mess with any of that stuff. Ideally, you take care of yourself naturally, but it requires hard work, which is what most people don't enjoy.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing. No one really knows what hard work is. Because I hear it all the time. Like, I worked very hard and it didn't happen.
Right.
I go, well, could you have worked harder? And the answer is always yes. Well, then do it. Go work harder. It reminds me of that story with Jerry Rice. Remember our friend Bo Eason was on the 49ers with Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and his first day of practice, training camp, he said all the wide receivers lined up, and Joe Montana came out, and he was throwing balls to warm up the receivers. And so it was a bunch of rookies in the front, and the veterans, Jerry Rice was at the end of the line. When Jerry Rice came up, he ran the route. The others were jogging. He sprinted. And this is warm-ups, training camp. He doesn't even have to prove himself, and he's not trying to make the team.
Right.
Jerry Rice is guaranteed a spot on the team.
Yeah.
But he sprints. He does a crisp cut. He catches the ball. And instead of jogging back and handing the ball back to Joe Montana, he runs all the way to the end zone, then comes back.
Right.
When Bo Eason asked him, what's with all the running? He said, it's very simple. Anytime these hands touch a football, this body ends up in an end zone. Well, guess what? Jerry Rice has the record on the most touchdowns.
Yeah.
Over 200 touchdowns. No one else is going to come close to him ever again.
And to me, that's even less about hard work than it is about the headspace that's attached to that, right?
Well, that's where I was going next.
Well,
you're
welcome. What a segue.
There's 3 dimensions to weight loss.
Yeah.
And most people only look at 2 of them, exercise and nutrition. The 3rd dimension is headspace. And you cannot...
And I think it's the most important.
Well, maybe. It's at least 1/3 is 1/3. You know, it's not any less important than the other 2. That's for sure. It's either equally important or more important.
I disagree. I think it's more important. Because
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's at least equal, if not more.
Right.
I don't know if it's more important. I don't know if you can sit in your house, not exercise, not eat right, and just get your mind right and lose weight. You know what I mean? Just the same as I truly believe you can't start eating right, not exercising, and not getting your head right and lose weight. It's not going to happen. I don't believe you can exercise and eat right, but not get your head right and lose weight. You need all 3. Is all I'm saying.
I agree, but I do think it's the most important of the 3. Because even look at the studies they did on the athletes, the basketball players who went out and shot their free throws, the ones who did nothing, and the ones who just envisioned it.
I mean, if the data is correct, they improved by 23%. The ones who actually practiced improved by 24%. So actually, the ones who did physically practice did improve by more.
They got more.
Yeah,
I get that, but that component right there, that you can literally sit and perform that in your head and have that much of an improvement.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
It is. But they have to have known how to do it in the first place. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if someone has never held a basketball in their hand,
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
tell them to visualize it. Now, what's the guy's first name? Doyle. He wrote the Culture Code. Do you remember that book we
Yes.
both read? And he also wrote the Talent Code. And he wrote a little book called The Little Handbook of Talent. And he talked about how you have mirror neurons, where if you watch someone do something enough times, you're more likely to be able to do it just by watching them. So you have to either watch someone or do it yourself or mimic them, and then. But yeah, it's mental. A lot of people say life is mental. A lot of people say like sports like golf is 90% mental. Well, if it's 90% mental, do you spend 90% of the practice time working on the mental side of it? No. Most people spend 90% of it on the physical side of it and very little on the mental side of it. And then they wonder why they didn't get anywhere.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's the most important thing. I know why you're saying it is. I'm just saying it's equally as important. And without it, you have 0% chance of success. That's the person who will yo-yo. That's the person who will lose weight, gain it, lose weight, gain it, lose weight, gain it. Or never lose weight. There's plenty of people. You literally look at them, you're like, okay, they're eating right, they're exercising, but they're not getting anywhere.
Right.
Well, it's got to be that third component. Do you know that every thought manifests physiologically in your body? Every single thought has a hormonal, enzymatic, chemical response in the body.
Yep.
Every thought. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What do you want them to be? Work on that. So getting back to this woman, sure. She started taking the injections, semaglutide injections, once a week in February. And it says, I'm going to skip ahead. She did lose about 50 pounds, and she was pretty happy about it. And then she stopped taking it because she got down to the weight she wanted to be. It says within about 2 weeks, she had already, within 2 weeks, she started losing weight. Then lost 50 pounds. I didn't realize how hungry I would get after like 5 to 6 weeks of being off it. So she came off it and started gaining weight. I did initially gain about 10 pounds, which is pretty quick, within a few weeks of gaining 10 pounds back.
Right.
And then she said it was a wake-up call. I need to be doing my healthy lifestyle habits and all those changes. So isn't that funny how now she decides she needs the lifestyle stuff?
But here's the challenge I have with this is it says that she had rebound weight gain, which is common after stopping semaglutide. I go, okay, is it that she just magically put on weight, or is it that she hadn't taught herself the right habits and her appetite was so much larger than what it had been? Was it so much more than what it was before? Probably not. But she probably went from like no appetite on the semaglutide.
Exactly.
Right?
To like extreme appetite.
To probably a normal appetite, which felt extreme.
Yeah. A lot of people who are on GLP-1 drugs, they say that they lose the enjoyment they get from the food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not as fun to eat anymore.
Right.
Which is pretty sad.
Yeah. Although then you go, why do we have so much enjoyment in food to begin with? It's not do you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it we're not eating as fuel?
Are you saying that people who enjoy their food, like they get most of their enjoyment for food, don't have meaning in their life? Like, are you saying they don't have other things? So I'll give you an example. There was this old lady, she's old. I'm in my 50s. She was in her 50s, but she looked really old,
mm-hmm.
right? And she had some grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And she would eat a cinnamon bun for breakfast every day with coffee. And then she ate pastries throughout the day. And she was overweight. She had arthritis. She had diabetes. Her heart was failing. She seemed old. I mean, in her late 50s, she seemed
mm-hmm.
very, very old. And she was like, well, you only live once. You better enjoy it. And I go, don't you get any enjoyment from having your grandchildren sit on your lap? Wouldn't you like to be able to run around I mean, if I had grandkids, right, I'd be able to run around with them.
Yeah.
I play basketball with the boys.
Yeah.
Not the way I used to be able to play basketball.
Pretty good. You hold your own out there
I do. I can play.
against a 15-year-old.
Anyway, it's where do you get your enjoyment from? Correct. But to take away the enjoyment of food just for the purpose of losing weight is like, sorry, someone outside just waved at us. Is very similar to taking away the enjoyment of marital intimacy to prevent STDs.
Or pregnancy.
Or pregnancy. Yeah, or pregnancy. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right.
No,
Like,
it doesn't.
why would you rob yourself of that? I think go ahead, like once a week,
Have
get
at it.
yourself something.
Have your cinnamon roll.
Have your pizza and the burger and the fries and the ice cream, and once a week, just indulge. But you know what? Don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Because part of the problem is doing that alone is not going to be mentally good for you. You share it with someone.
Mm-hmm.
You sit with the friends. Like say, hey, it's Sunday. We're going to watch football together. Call the friends. Get everybody together. Get the snacks. Get the nachos. Hang out. Have fun. Cheer for your team. Eat the snacks. Enjoy it. And then put it away and go healthy again.
Yeah.
That's very different. You've heard of the French paradox.
Yes.
Yeah. Do they know?
You'd have to ask them.
In France,
Sean, do they know?
comment if you know. We're not live. If we were live, you could do that. We should do some live stuff. In France, there's no obesity and there's no heart disease. There's cancer is rare too, and people go, why is that? Because they eat wine, cheese, and bread every day with most of their meals. Wine, cheese, and bread.
Yep.
Why aren't they like if we ate in America, if we ate wine, cheese, and bread every day, I think the obesity problem would be even worse.
Yeah.
So how come for them it's not as bad, but for us it is? It's because
they take their time.
They don't eat alone, right? Eating is a social engagement for them. You sit around with your friends. You bring out the food little by little, and you sip your wine and you eat your cheese and bread, but you're talking, you're relaxing, you're having fun. In fact, even in kindergarten in France, they tell the kids, why are you eating so fast? Talk to your friends. What do they tell our kids in America? Stop talking
and hurry up and eat.
Yeah, eat faster. Stop talking. Well, there you go. If you eat fast and you're not socializing and you're not enjoying yourself, that food becomes poison and it's going to stick to your belly and not to your bones as muscle. So that's why I believe the French paradox is that they don't have cholesterol problems, they don't have heart disease, and they don't have obesity there. And it's because of how they eat, not what they eat.
And somebody's going to pipe on there and they're going to say, I knew this one person who was, yes, there are a few people there that are obese. That is for sure. And some of them might be Americans walking around. That's very common. So
there's this doctor in this, Dr. Louis Aron, director of the Comprehensive Weight Control Center at Weill Cornell Medicine. It's a very prestigious place. Told Good Morning America that rebound weight gain can be common after stopping semaglutide because the drug is no longer working in the body. What a genius. Way to state the obvious, right? Like this is a seriously quote-worthy statement right here. Dr. Aron says, when you stop taking the drug, it stops working because it's no longer in your body. Wow, who knew?
if, in case you were curious, that is how it works.
He further goes on to say, obesity is a chronic disease. Really? Is it a chronic disease? Just like diabetes. Now, are we talking about type 1 diabetes? Because type 1 diabetes is a chronic disease. What about type 2 diabetes? Do you classify that as chronic disease or is it a lifestyle disease? What about high blood pressure? Is that a disease? He says obesity is a chronic disease just like diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Now, none of those are diseases, in my opinion. Not all of those are consequences of unhealthy lifestyles.
Now, they all have a diagnosis code.
So that we can prescribe drugs.
A diagnosis code does not mean that it's a disease.
Right.
That's That's
'Cause
different.
there's diagnosis codes for falling down the stairs too.
Not a disease.
There's a diagnosis code for burning your hand on the engine of a motorboat.
Not a disease. We could do this all afternoon.
So he goes, if you don't take the medicine regularly, then the effect wears off.
Again, thank you.
I'm so proud of Good Morning America for putting such wise, eloquent quotes in their
I
article.
wonder if Dr. Louis is shaking his head going, I can't believe that's what they pulled out of all of what I said. This is what they pulled it to put in the article.
He was proud of himself until now. Anyways, guys, then there's this other doctor, Darian Sutton, an NBC News medical contributor and board-certified emergency medicine physician, said providers may look at different options when prescribing semaglutide to help prevent the weight gain from patients. Weight gain some patients see. So he's like, okay, when we stop this drug, let's put them on a different drug. so that they don't gain it back. Apparently, 2/3 of the weight comes back pretty quickly. The other third eventually comes back, and sometimes more. So
maybe the body is like, sorry, you don't deserve the other 2/3 to be off. You didn't do the work. Back on. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they're talking about research on maybe we should change the dose, maybe we should taper off, and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, listen. What you take from this is you have to address the 3 dimensions of life.
Always.
Physical, chemical, psychological. You address all 3 simultaneously, right? So you go, how do I improve my psychological state in order to lose weight? Well, how much do you laugh every day? Honestly, like, how much do we laugh every day? We've been laughing more than we've been talking today.
Yeah, it's good for the soul.
Laugh. Just find humor in the world, stop looking for the negative. My gosh, my mom came back from Iran, right? Last night, I'm playing some music for her, these music videos, and I thought she knew them because they're like, this is music from Iran. This is videos of concerts in Iran, which is actually really good music. And but she hadn't seen any of it because she hasn't been leaving the house much when she's over there because of fear. There's stuff going on in the streets or whatever. Even though she lives in a safe place, there's still bad people, whatever. And but like we're listening to music, having a good time, just talking. She constantly talks about how terrible things are in Iran. She goes, oh, when I come out of the house, I see this young guy in his 20s reaching in the garbage trying to look for food. And there's so much poverty there. And this is what's happening. This is what young people are doing, blah, blah. And, at first I was like, okay, maybe she's done. But she wasn't done. And she kept going. Eventually I said, all right, but and she keeps crying. She just cries for the people there, which I understand her heart breaks for them. And mine does too. But you can't get stuck in that negative state especially when you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Right? What do they say? The best way to help them is to not be one of them.
It's true. Yeah, it was funny because, I picked up on that too. And the second night she was home and we did dinner and whatnot. And I was like encouraging the kids. I'm like, why don't you ask questions? Gaga just got back. Let's talk about, what it was. But she went onto a tangent about the financial status. And I'm like, this 9-year-old does not care.
Right.
What the monetary value of the
She was talking about
real.
how much things cost and how the conversion rate is between the dollar and
it was just all negative and it was all you know, and I'm like, we're missing an opportunity to.
Meanwhile, I'm playing these videos for her where in Iran you have thousands of people in these concert halls singing and celebrating, and they don't look upset
At all.
They're happy.
So
I go, let's do like them. Let's celebrate. Let's stop being negative. I mean, you told me this story 3 times already. Let's not focus on it. But anyways, that's the kind of stuff. Like, listen, I'm not saying don't get sad. Don't let your heart break for things. There's a lot going on.
But don't just be sad for the sake of being sad. Don't
Correct.
be mad for the sake of being mad.
Right.
Use that constructively and do something about it. Whether that's pray for them if that's the only thing you can do, because people are far away, or you
Write
just
a
there's
post,
something you can't do.
write your thoughts and post it somewhere.
Yeah, or don't post it. Just
Send
write
a
it in a
message.
letter.
Yeah, I mean, do a video, get it out of
But
your
don't
system.
carry it. That's the point.
Right.
Don't carry that kind of negative emotion, because it lives in the fabric of who you are. It impacts you on such a great level physiologically. There is nothing in this world that is worth carrying that kind of sadness or anger long term. Not saying short term, right? Like if there's something like to be mad about it and do something about it. Don't just be mad for the sake of being mad, and don't carry that for so long, because it is a detriment.
And don't let other people's opinions bother you so much.
Yeah.
So I had a patient, older gentleman, much older. He has trouble walking. His legs are kind of weak, and so anyways, he keeps saying, "I'll feel better when this administration ends."
Why do you let anyone dictate your health?
Really? Come on. Why don't we start feeling better now?
Right. The best way to get back at an opponent is be healthy and vibrant and ready to fight.
And well, yes, that's if someone's doing something bad to you. But
Correct.
if someone has a different opinion than you, they're not your opponent.
Well, that's correct.
Right? You have one disagreement about one thing. It's not like, okay, we all want to be healthy. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
We all want the best for our children. We agree with that. We all want a better economy for the next generation to live a good life.
We may have a different approach to
prosperous,
how that happens.
It's like we agree on most things. We all want less disease, less crime. Am I right? Like, if you come and say, no, I really want more crime, I don't know if I can agree with you on that one.
Correct.
Obviously, but I don't know anyone who would ever say that. I want more people to be more sick. I don't know anyone who says that. But now someone, like I was talking to a patient the other day, and they said, she was mentioning people she would like to meet, historical figures she'd love to meet. Now, obviously, at the top of the list was Jesus, and she mentioned some other people, and I go, yeah, I would add Charlie Kirk to that list. I would have loved to have met him. Mm-hmm. And she said, oh no, he was so hateful. And I said, I didn't see any of the hateful things he said. I haven't seen that. And she said, oh yeah, he was talking about the LGBTQ community in a speech, and he said some really terrible, hateful things about them. I said, well, I can see, having heard that, you wouldn't be a fan of Charlie Kirk. And I meant what I said. Having heard that, having that perception, I can see why you're not a fan of his. It doesn't make her a bad person. I still love her. She's still a patient. We're still getting along. And guess what? We agree on everything else.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? Not everybody likes Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's okay. Not everybody likes us.
But just because they don't like Charlie, does that mean I'm supposed to dislike them?
No, and that's actually part of the cancel culture that right now is one of the biggest challenges in our society, is that we refuse to come to the table and just talk to people like human beings, and not like, I will sit across from somebody from the FDA and have a conversation and tell them I don't agree with some of their studies and some of the things they've approved. And they can sit there and tell me why they did it. And then we can shake hands and we can walk away. I don't have to change my thought process. I also don't have to call him a jerk. I don't have to call him names. I don't have to say, I won't talk to you. I don't think you should be alive. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a right to have an opinion, and we can all come and should be able to discuss it. You have.
That's your gnat. That's the gnat that you gave me your gnat.
He was trying to eat my lunch today.
I saw that.
He followed me everywhere.
She has a pet gnat that's now bugging me.
His name is Nat.
Nat King Cole.
So fun. You know what? The only sad thing about today,
Know what?
we don't get to go through my topic. We are going to save it for next time.
Oh yeah, the dire
So,
wolves.
We're going to talk about cloning on the next
Okay.
topic, the next podcast.
Actually, the next one we have a guest.
Oh, well, it'll be the one after that then.
Okay.
So we're going to do we'll do one on cloning because I really want to talk a little bit about the dire wolves and the cloning there. And then there's also some really interesting, not that I agree with some of these things that are happening, but like the ability for them to create an egg to be used in fertility from skin cells very early on. We know we've talked a little bit about cloning certain like body parts, certain organs. We've talked about 3D printing on certain organs.
Oh yeah.
So I think that this is a topic. Matter of fact, even Alabama, I think it was recently, made human cloning a felony. And you have to ask yourself, why all of a sudden did they make it a felony?
Right.
If it's not happening,
People have to be doing it.
right? So I think it's going to be an interesting topic for us to dive into. So,
Yeah, I agree. Well, very good. Are we done? Or I guess we're done. So what's takeaway for today is the 3 dimensions. I used to go to this gym where these ladies would sit on these exercise machines, and I went there for like 10 years. And because I went at the same time, it was the same group of women at the same time. They're on the same machines, pedaling or pushing or whatever. They're doing their thing. Treadmills and ellipticals and exercise bikes and all that. And 10 years later, they still look the same. They looked a little older. The same women. They were there every day, sweating. Never lost weight. Never looked any different. Their bodies did not transform. And then I saw all these other people who would come in 6 months later. They're a whole different person. I'm like, wow. I'd always go up to them and say, "You look terrific. Good job. Whatever
Yeah.
you're doing is amazing."
yeah.
And everything in between. But why didn't that group of women in that front row, the equipment, never lose weight? And it's not like they weren't working hard, right? They're sweating. I could see them sweating, breathing heavy and sweating, right? If you just breathe heavy and sweat, you're going to lose weight. I mean, so as long as the other 2 dimensions are being taken care of. So you go, maybe they're not eating right. I think it's different. I think it's because they were either watching TV or reading magazines when they were on those exercise machines, because their mind wasn't connected to their body.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're reading a book or a magazine, you're somewhere else. Your body's doing this. Your mind is over here. It's disconnected. Now, what do bodybuilders do? They always call it the mind-muscle connection.
Yep.
They go focus on the muscle you're connecting with, isolate that muscle, squeeze that muscle, feel the burn in that muscle, get a pump in that muscle. And if you're not getting those things and your mind's not connected, that muscle's not going to grow properly. Bodybuilders get it. It's the mental side of it. And then powerlifters too. I mean, what do? They have to like figure out how to mentally contract more muscle fibers.
Yep.
Do you know that when you lift heavy, like only 75% of your muscles are contracting, that muscle fibers, 25% is resting and relaxing. I don't know the exact percentage. It could be more, it could be less. Those muscle fibers relax and they're saving themselves for the second rep. But powerlifters only do 1 rep. Right? So they have to figure out mentally how to get their body to contract more. If they can contract 90% of those muscle fibers instead of 70, they are literally way more powerful. And that's all up in the mind. Everything has to go through the mind and you can't ignore it. All 3 are so important.
Yep.
Do all 3.
Absolutely.
And don't bother with these drugs, guys. I don't think it's necessary. I hope it's not necessary. You know, go on Survivor, the show. People always lose weight on Survivor.
Yeah, or Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid, they lose weight too. All right, well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate everything you do and how you support us. And please comment to let us know what you like and don't like and what you like us to talk about. And please call me a quack. I enjoy that. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.